6 o'clock, we'll call the state session of City Council to order. Please rise for the invocation followed by the pledge of the flag. Let us give thanks on behalf of all who are gathered here this evening. Thank you for the life and health that you give us. Thank you for allowing us to be the individuals involved in our community to make responsible decisions on behalf of our residents. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Brown? Mr. Ettinger?
Here.
Mr. Milan?
Here.
Mr. O'Connell? Dr. Ruggles?
Here.
Mrs. Sultana?
Here.
Mayor Pianto?
Here. We'll move on to approval of the agenda.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved in second. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mr. Milan?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
And Mayor Pianto?
Aye. Action on our minutes of the July 26th meeting.
Move to approve.
Moved
Second.
and second. Roll call, Madam Clerk. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Milan?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
Mayor Pianto?
Aye.
And Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
At this time, we have public comment by anyone who has a subject that's on the agenda. If not, there's a time at the end of the period, at the end of the meeting, to ask anything, comments, concerns, or questions about the city. Anyone? Moving on to consent agenda, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Under the consent agenda, gotta change this. We have a resolution being introduced, which was gonna be Mr. O'Connell, with the authority, or giving approval to apply for a Northampton County Department of Community and Economic Development Public Safety Grant Program in the amount of $20,000, and that would be used to purchase rescue tools for the Easton Fire Department.
I'll move it. Second.
What's the consent agenda?
Yeah, I just have to change thing on it. Thank you, guys. And I have a resolution being introduced by Mr. Milan that would approve a 5-year lease agreement between the City of Easton and Pitney Bowes. It's for the city's mailing machine. And I have a resolution being introduced by Dr. Ruggles, which would accept and certifies the certified list of eligible entry-level firefighters.
I'll move the consent agenda.
Now I'll second.
Thank you.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mr. Milan?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
And Mayor Pianto?
Aye. I'll accept the Fire Department's report for July 23rd, July 2023, and move on right to reports. Mr. Brown is on vacation. Councilman O'Connell's on vacation. Planning and Codes, Councilmember Sultana.
I have no report, Mayor.
Public Safety Committee, Councilman Ruggles.
I have no report.
Public Works Committee, Councilman Ettinger.
I have no report tonight, Mayor.
Administration Committee, Councilman Milan.
I have no report.
Report of Solicitor, Mr. Shear.
I have no report.
Thank you. Report of the Mayor, just want to mention that last night we had just 2 members of council show up again, so we stayed until about 20 after 6 and left. Also want to remind City Council that the clerk sent out a reminder that tomorrow's Climate Change Committee press conference is going to be held right on the steps of City Hall if anyone would like to attend.
That's next week, I think.
Yeah.
right? Okay.
What did I say tomorrow? Next
No,
week?
it's on the
Next
15th.
It's on the 15th. It's tomorrow. Yeah, the 15th.
Oh, I apologize then. Huh.
Also, just want to mention that City Council will be seeing a couple things on their agenda in 2 weeks. We'll be bringing before LERTA for a couple of projects, most of which have to do with our affordable housing program. We have a number of projects that are going to go on, some on the south side, some in downtown for affordable housing, and we want to grant them the LERTA program. Also, the awards we'll be giving out. I believe I'm looking at Dave. I believe Mr. Campos will be back to work next week, part-time, maybe 2-3 hours a day. So at the next council meeting, I'd like to give out the awards to the people who were involved. There were 2 firefighters, 2 police officers, 2 emergency squad personnel, and 2 civilians. That'll be at the meeting in 2 weeks. And then at the first or second meeting in September, I'm not sure yet, the Restoration Awards and the Easton Award will be given out at those meetings. We'll look to see what the agenda looks like first. There's no correspondence, there's no unfinished business, we'll move right into new business, Madam Clerk.
Okay. We have a resolution being introduced by Mr. Ettinger, which would, reviewed and approved an agreement between the City of Easton and Omnis Landscape Architecture for the design plan for the southeast quadrant and Lens Court.
So moved.
Moved, is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Ruggles, second. Discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mr. Milan?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
Okay.
And we have a resolution also being introduced by Mr. Ettinger, and this is a tough one. Authorizing the execution of an agreement between the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for acceptance of the Transportation Alternative Set Aside Funds.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mr. Milan?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
And Mayor Panto?
Aye. At this time, we have public comment on any matter before the city, dealing with the city of Easton. I see no one's raising their hand to come forward. Art, you have nothing tonight? Wow. Okay. In that case, I'll,
We're gonna
move on,
miss you, Artie.
move on to adjournment.
So move.
Second.
Moved and second. Discussion. Roll call.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
And Mr. Milan?
Aye.
Holy moly.
Yeah, he broke the record.
Right?
He had the record.
Good night.